show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Aerosol! Good morning, friends, and welcome to the Shero Coffee Chat, where coffee meets conversation. Well, not always, because today I've got my Shero Metro tea, and I am enjoying the fresh taste of peppermint. Yes, I am. So I think I can say coffee and tea meets conversation. Yes, I'm your host, Melissa Farmer Hill, an Army combat veteran and the founder of the Shero Coffee Club, where our mission is to keep the world caffeinated and women veterans celebrated. I want to thank you for joining us today. And as always, we'll take a spin around the Shero resource table, and I've got your tip, your guest, and your chat of the week all coming up right after this. Of what And we're back. Andre was trying to communicate with me, but I have no idea of what he was saying. But we're going to move right on along. So at Shero Coffee Chat, we know that life is a journey and it's definitely not always easy. I mean, we definitely have to keep our heads on a swivel when it comes to helping our veterans and their families. With over 16 million veterans out there, not one of us has all the answers, but I feel like together I truly believe that we can figure it out. And that's why we have the Shero resource table. I mean, I'm here to share some tips, some helpful information, and maybe some programs that will help our veteran community because I believe when one of us wins, we all win. So, who has VA dental? Right. Yeah, I said that. Yeah. VA dental. That is a real thing. It's not a unicorn. I kid you not. Because there are over 500,000 veterans right now getting their dental care at the VA. So I want to talk about today about just a little bit about who who qualifies for getting that. And and if you don't qualify, what you can do if you don't qualify. So if you're 100% service connected, disabled, a former POW, or you have a dental condition caused by your service or a dental issue that is making another service connected condition worse, you are in. That's a very limited number of people. That's why it seems like a unicorn to me because that's a small box of people. If you got out of the military about 180, you have to apply within 180 days. That's where I made my mistake when I retired out of the military because I did not know that's what I was supposed to do. You can apply within 6 months and receive some dental care. And if you didn't get a full exam before you separated, you might be eligible to get a one-time dental exam treatment. So there's coverage. Also, if you're VA, the Voc Rehab program, if you're in there, and if you're in the hospital and your dental issue is really messing with your treatment that you're receiving, or there are also certain homeless veterans programs that offer that as well. Now, if you don't meet any of those categories, then you're out of luck. Now, the VA also has something called VA DIP. I'm sure it's always an acronym. So it stands for VA Dental Insurance Program, and I want to say it's called the dip because that's what it looks like to me. But it's basically affordable coverage through Delta Dental or MetLife. But you've got to be enrolled in the VA healthcare or Champ VA in order to sign up. It's very easy to apply. You fill out the VA form 1010 EZ. You can do that online or go to your VA dental clinic. I see the office I see the dental clinic at the Jesse Brown VA. It's like a small little office that I never went into. So I'm encouraging you to do that. Just go into that VA dental clinic and see if you qualify. Or you can of course call 800-827-1000. And then the last thing, of course, we can always go to My Healthy Vet. You can go to My Healthy Vet to see if you qualify, because dental work, you guys, take it from me, who did not I did not apply. I did not apply when I got out. That's that dental work is very expensive. And like I said, if one of us wins, we all win. So if this can help you uh do what you need to do, then I think we're all better. All right, we're going to move right into the chat of the week, and I want to ask you a question. Do you think it's fair to get full benefits to some service members while cutting off benefits for those who are just shy of the finish line of their 20 years of service? So I read an NPR article the other day, and it talked about transgender service members in the Air Force who have 15 to 18 years of service. And they were told that they could take an early retirement under the TERA. That's a temporary early retirement authority. And so that would they would take an early retirement. It would get prorated, but they would keep those benefits. Some even had their retirement paperwork already approved. I'm sure that, in the interim of all that, they made their plans that, getting out, doing that transition thing. And then just like that, those approvals were taken back. And now what they're doing is they're being out processed with a lump sum separation payment. So that's no retirement, no lifetime benefits. Let's take a look at this clip. I want you guys to see this clip. We can't hear it.
Must choose between a lump sum separation payment or leaving the service without benefits. An Air Force spokesperson confirmed that no exceptions to this policy were approved, despite previous notifications to some members. All transgender members are being separated under the Trump administration's policies.
So you tell me what do you think about that? What do you think about that? Now there was a time, when service members would be protected under like a grandfather clause. That's what we called it back in my day. I can say that now. But and so what that was, it was a grandfather clause, and this was before the new rules took effect. So this clause would kind of like establish who was covered under the old policy, ensuring that service members kept their benefits and their status, even as they're changing the rules. It was the grandfather clause. But here's the thing: I also want you to know that as of right now, today, in this moment, because the administration operates in real time, those with 20 years of service or more, meaning everyone, will still receive their full retirement benefits. So that is a good thing. All right. But I want to hear from you. Do you think that those who had their early retirement revoked for a lump sum should be grandfathered? I find that very, very interesting. And I want to hear from you. All right, we're going to move right into our tip of the week, and then we have our special guest. Now, I wanted a tasty beverage that was not Shero coffee or Shero tea. I had a taste for an ice cold Coke, Coca-Cola. And so when I looked on the back of the bottle of the Coca-Cola, it said sugar plus added sugar was 104%. Isn't that wild? 104%. Uh, and so I'm like, there's more. You mean to tell me there's more liquid than sugar? I mean, there's more sugar than liquid in here. And so I was like, what I learned was that 104% is your daily sugar limit. So when you see those things on the back, it's your daily sugar limit. But I was really scared about that 104%. That means there's a lot of sugar inside of drinking that Coke. And so I did a little more exploration. I did a little more exploring. I'm like, well, what happens when all this sugar hits my body? So what I found out was in 0 to 15 minutes, you get a sugar spike, a quick energy rush. There's that dopamine boost. And then 15 to 30 minutes, that caffeine kicks in and your heart rate starts going up. And at the 30 to 45-minute juncture, you start to crash, right? Your focus kind of dips and you might be craving more, so you might get some more Coke. And then by the time you get to the full hour, you're tired and irritable and you are craving more sugar. All that for a Coke. All that is happening to my body, inside of my body, just over a Coke. It probably is not just Coca-Cola. This is just sugar. I just happen to be drinking a Coke that day. But the whole point is sugar definitely causes weight gain, fatigue and insulin resistance. So if you're going to have that nice, wonderful cold beverage called Coca-Cola or Pepsi or cola or whatever you have, look at the sugar inside of it and remember what I said today, what happens in the first 60 minutes of drinking that. All right. So that is my tip of the week. Guess what? I'm listening. There we go. We are kind of late on that bell, but it's all good. It is all good. Now, I want to talk about our special guest today. Today, you are going to meet Cynthia Meraz. She's a proud Texan, a Shero ambassador, and a United States Marine Corps veteran with deployments to Kuwait and Bahrain, whose passion, just her passion for service, science, and land. Yes, service, science, and land runs deep, you guys. After her military service, Cynthia pursued her love of understanding the human mind, earning degrees in psychology and neuroscience. When she's not working at a level 2 trauma hospital conducting brainwave studies, you'll find her nurturing life back to the land, managing her ranch in Ladonia, Texas. Hello, Texas. Hello, Texas today. Cynthia brings the same dedication and curiosity to her agritourism venture, candle making with goats. Yes, offering visitors a meaningful connection to nature, community, and the rural rhythms of East Texas. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome our guest today, Cynthia Meraz. Yay! Cynthia, I'm so glad. I'm so glad we could finally do this. I have so many questions, and of course, there's never enough time. So I'm gonna get right to it. So I want to know a little bit about how you grew up and what led you to join the military.
So you said it right. I'm from Texas, a very proud Texan. And in school, I was in a lot of I was in the ROTC program, so that was a big influence on me. And it was a Marine Corps unit that I was in the ROTC program, so that was a big deal. And I knew I wasn't gonna have enough money to go to college right after high school, so I decided to join the Marines. And I think it was a good choice, the best choice I could have made.
Oh wow. So after you got out, you went into psychology and neuroscience. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. But what pulled you in that direction? I think, was it a specific experience, or it's, that's an interesting combination. I mean, it fits, it goes together. But what really pulled you in that direction?
Well, I feel like I've always I like people. I like to know about people, where they come from, and kind of why we do things that we do. And I feel like after my Marine Corps career, I had a lot of something just didn't feel the same anymore, and I knew that something um it was just different. And I knew if I went to study the mind, the psychology, and how my brain works, I could probably figure it out and figure myself out again. And it helped me out a lot. And it helped me understand what I was going through. And it also helped me understand the people that were around me, and how we can work together better to make things happen and make the mission keep going.
Wow. So do you go around psychoanalyzing people a lot? Is it just a
I
natural
I
is it a
have to
natural
try.
occurrence?
I try not to. I have to remind myself not to. Like, just enjoy the moment, enjoy the time with people. But it's hard. It's hard when that's what you do all
Right,
day.
right, right. Oh, that's funny. All right. So now how has what you've learned in the military and in school played the role in the agritourism business that you have? And then we'll talk about your business.
Okay. So I I've always been my family's from Mexico. So my grandparents had a ranch in Mexico, and in the summertime one of my uncles would take me to Mexico. And I loved he would drive he would drive from Dallas to Mexico, and it was about a 24-hour trip. And I just remember those summer days with him, and taking our time to get there, and seeing the stars and being outside. And then we would get there, and our family would be there. And I would just remember the animals and the sunsets, and it was just I missed it. I missed it. And I always wanted to have that peace in Texas. So when I got the opportunity, I jumped on it. And now I make candles here. So it kind of all worked out in the end. And it just that's how it all kind of came together.
As you describe your story, I'm like, I think my blood pressure just went down a whole lot because the way it sounds, it's so picturesque. It sounds like the epitome, just you and your grandfather just learning and being out in nature. And I really don't think we do enough of that now. I don't think we do enough of that. And the way you put it makes me want to take a walk. Like seriously,
Yes.
that was such a great stuff. Now I want to take a walk. Uh,
You should. Everybody should. Walks are awesome.
I know. So let's talk about making candles with goats. That is such the coolest idea. How did how did you even come? I mean, how did that come to be? Was it like a
I
light bulb moment? I mean, we've heard about your nature and like how did that come to be?
I never thought I would be making candles with ghosts. Okay, like, I am a city girl. Okay, I learn a lot of things very quickly out here, but it's fun. It keeps me on my toes, and I learn a lot. And I hope that I give my goats a good life. I hope. And but I started doing candles with my mom back in 2020 during COVID, and we just kind of started doing it as a hobby, and we would do it. We'd sell them to our friends and our family, and we would do little markets here and there. And I love to travel, and when I would do traveling, I would always try to do something in the area that was unique to that city or place where I was at. And I was like, oh, I would love to have something like that back home to be able to do. And so when I started doing the candles, I said, well, I can teach a candle class. I can teach people how to make a candle. And so then I transitioned into candle making workshops, and that's where I really, really enjoyed. I enjoy making the candles too, but the workshops, they fill me back up. They fill my cup back up. And I love it, and I like to meet new people, and I like to know where they're coming from, what they're doing, and just have a good time, get to know each other and have a good experience. And when I moved out here, I said, okay, well, we're gonna make use of this land and grow, and now they're part of the experience as well. So that's kind of how
Wow.
it all came together, and it works out. It works out good.
Wow. Just listening to you share your story and your experience, like it's very calming. I don't know if you know that or not, but just listening to you tell your story is very calming. Now I know that it's definitely not easy. I mean, you're doing so many things. What are some of the biggest challenges that you ran into when you started because you do more, it's more than just candle making, you do yoga too, right? Is it goat
Yes,
yoga? And we'll talk
yes,
about
goat
that.
yoga.
Right, we'll talk about that. But what were some of the biggest challenges getting started that you ran into, and how did you kind of work through them?
It's interesting that you bring that up because I feel that farmers and veterans have a lot of things in common. And when I was in the Marines, you always had a set schedule. You always knew what you had to bring the next day. You always, you were ready, you were prepared. And then sometimes things happen and you had to change the plan. You had to like be adaptable.
Mm.
And that has been my life here. Like I have everything planned out. I look at the weather. What do we need? Do I need new boots because it's going to be rainy season
Mhm,
and the ones
mhm.
that I have are ripped? And it's just so that connects a lot with me. So it kind of helps me because I like being um organized and have a plan and be structured. And then when things don't go the way you plan, like always,
Right,
I you can always figure it out, right? We have to be adaptable.
right.
And I think that's what really helped me in the hard times when I was here. And because it's a new, right? I'm a city girl. I didn't grow up in a farm.
Mhm, mhm.
Um so there was a lot of things that I had to learn really quick. And it thankfully I have my family that helps me. They come and help me as much as they can, and I am so appreciative of them. And I don't I don't think I would be able to do it all by myself if I didn't have them.
Yeah,
um but it's a all hands on effort here.
yeah. Oh, wow. So now I want to talk about the experiences that you get when we visit you at the ranch. So tell us a little bit about the services you offer and what the experience would be like.
So right now we have two classes. We have the candle making workshops where people come in and they pick out they learn how to make a candle. They pick out their own scent. They can pick out their own color if they want to color the candle. And then when we're waiting, so we learn about the process, right? And another cool thing about it is that I use soy wax. So sometimes they rotate the crops here, but sometimes they plant soybean plants. So you can see them out in the field if they're in season. So I think that's a pretty cool um, experience too when we use the when we talk about the process of candle making. And then after that, when we're waiting for the candle to cure, we go out and we learn about the animals. And I have boar goats, so they're meat goats, and we just learn about them. We get to talk about their names, and just it's a really good experience. And I think it makes your brain work, not work
Mm.
in a hard way, but it gets you thinking about things that you probably don't think about on a regular basis. And you get to meet other people that are maybe just visiting or in the area, and you never know, you might leave with a new best friend. So it's a really good and fun experience, and I really enjoy it. And then the goat yoga that we do, I have my really good friend now. She comes from Greenville. She teaches a goat yoga class, and she's an awesome instructor. I love her, and I always get really good feedback from everybody that comes and does the class. So she's great. She's great.
Oh wow. That's now what are the ages? Can kids come?
So right now we do have the candle making workshops open for kids. They have to be 5 years or older, and they do have to get a waiver signed from their parent that comes
Mhm.
with them. But it's good. I'm glad that they're able to experience that as well. The goat yoga, they can't really do it yet because there's a
Yeah.
lot of you know, goats have horns and hooves,
Right.
and we don't
Right.
want any accidents to happen, so we kind of keep that for the adults only.
Oh wow. So you've been a Marine, a scientist, you're a rancher, you're a business owner. When you look at your life now, how how would you define success?
That's a good question. Um, I think we have to look at it at a daily thing, right? If kind of day by day, if my day today was better than it was yesterday, then we're going in the right way. We're moving forward, and I think that's important. That's important to see.
Okay. All right. So do you have any last words that you want to just share with our guests? It could be anything on any topic.
Well, I just want to say thank you for having me. I'm so grateful that I ran into you in my life, and I want to say thank you, and that you really inspire us. So I'm very grateful to be part of the Shero Coffee Club, and just thank you for all the work that you do. It means a lot,
Oh
and you're doing
wow.
great work.
And you're doing great work too. For those who don't know, we had a Shero coffee campaign where we raised funds for the VFW scholarship, education scholarship, and Cynthia was our number one coffee seller. So thank you. I can't wait to see you at Shiro Uncorked. And we just guess what? The time is up. We got to end it now. But Cynthia, thanks for coming on. I'm so glad we were able to do this. So, you guys, we've already left her information. Shout out to East Texas. You got a winner, East Texas. You got a winner. And don't forget to visit her ranch, get you some candles made, and do a little goat yoga. It's relaxing,
Yes.
it's self
Yes.
care. We all need it. All right. So until next time, keep your heart strong and your coffee Shiro. We will see you next week. Thanks for stopping by.